Peace talks between Pakistan and Afghanistan have collapsed after 4 days. Pakistan's defense minister warning the country could, quote, completely obliterate the Taliban in Afghanistan. Hira Mustafa with this report for CNA from Islamabad.
Pakistan's information minister says the Taliban government in Kabul has refused to act against militants blamed for deadly cross-border attacks, adding that recent talks failed to bring about any workable solution despite mediation by Qatar and Turkey. The statement posted on social media platform X came after a fresh round of negotiations in Istanbul collapsed, following earlier discussions in Doha that produced a temporary ceasefire on October 19th. That truce, which ended fierce border clashes, leaving dozens of soldiers and civilians dead on both sides, has since given way to growing mistrust, experts say. Islamabad accuses the Taliban administration of failing to provide firm guarantees to rein in militant groups such as the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan and the Balochistan Liberation Army. Pakistan's information minister further added Pakistan had presented sufficient and irrefutable evidence of terrorist activity originating from Afghan soil, evidence that he claimed was acknowledged by both the Afghan side and the mediators Qatar and Turkey. However, Afghan media reports claim the Pakistani delegation was not presenting clear arguments and kept leaving the negotiating table. As tensions rise, Pakistan's defense minister has warned Kabul against any misadventure, vowing that Islamabad would respond with stern action. He accused Afghan leaders of making venomous statements that reflect what he called a devious and splintered mindset within the Taliban regime. Amid the escalating tensions, U.S. President Donald Trump also weighed in, saying he could solve the Pakistan-Afghanistan crisis very quickly. However, the ceasefire between the two countries is so far holding despite the collapse of truce talks in Istanbul. Meanwhile, key border crossings between the two neighbors remained shut since the deadly clashes, stranding hundreds of trucks and paralyzing cross-border trade. With security on high alert and diplomatic channels faltering, analysts warn that the deepening mistrust between Islamabad and Kabul risks spiraling into a broader conflict that could destabilize the region. For CNA, I'm Hira Mustafa in Islamabad.